Question 3 from 2.1 says, give 2 examples of how ratios are used in daily life and share your ideas with a classmate. Well, if I was trying to compare boys to girls in this class, and let's say I have 30 students, well, I could use a ratio to show a comparison of how many are boys and how many girls. Let's say in my class I have 10 boys and I have 20 girls. Well, I'll tell you what, those boys are pretty lucky if they're in a class with 20 girls, because their chances of getting a date have improved drastically. But what I could do then is I could express that as a boy to girl ratio, and I could express that as 10 to 20. And what use does that have? Well, I can say if I reduce this to lowest terms, I know I can divide both by 10. And I say, now this ratio says for every 1 boy in the class, there are 2 girls. That's a pretty useful bit of information to have mathematically. What's another way we could use it? Well, this is, by the way, this is an example of a part-to-part ratio and how it can be used. Another example is like part-to-whole ratios, and those are really what we call percentages. We can, or fractions, or fractions, which of course we all know can be changed to percentages. So there are infinite uses for these types of ratios in our daily life. So let's look at an example. Let's say again there's 30 students, and we have the same ratio of 10 boys to 20 girls, and I say, well, let's make it part to whole. So we're going to look at boys in relationship to the whole class. Now, because this is a part to whole ratio, I could express it this way, or I could go boys to class, in which case I would have 10 over 30, or 10 out of 30, because the whole class is 30, and there are 10 boys. This can then therefore be reduced or changed to a percentage, which means that it's 33.3% boys in the class. A very useful part, and a great example of what the difference is between part-to-part ratios and part-to-whole ratios.